You can please sit quietly and be upright. And as you begin the process of sort of settling in for your practice, actively decide what you can put aside, what you can say no to, like future planning, past reviewing. Right now you're saying no to household chores because you're sitting here practicing yoga. Let go of the activities you were doing before class and try not to let your mind wander to the activities that will happen after class. So to help place yourself more firmly in the present moment, become aware of where your seat is, where your hips are touching your blanket, your cushion, the floor, the chair. And even though you have experienced these kinds of sensations before and even noticed them before, the sensations themselves are only happening in this moment. These are not yesterday's sensations. They are not the sensations of tomorrow. They may be similar, they may be familiar, but these sensations are the ones which are calling you back home right now. So I'm going to invite you to send your breath down into those sensations, like wherever your hips are supported. Imagine the breath going down to meet the sensations of that support. And start cultivating a breath cycle that feels like a rhythm that for you would feel like love and grounding and presence. So from within your own discernment or leadership, you can cultivate the breath that connects you to your seat, that has a rhythm that feels like grace or kindness. And then let your body imagine that dozens of others in this class right now are doing the same. That each of us is sensing that rhythm that would feel most like kindness or grounding or grace. Invite your body to know that you're not trying this all on your own, that there are others looking for this rhythm, connection, rooting. It is important for our beings to remember this, because most of what we see in the media will not be in alignment with this kind of practice. It'll be about merchant culture or politics, so we can forget that there are so many others also practicing coming back to this rhythm, this communion. So with appreciation for your efforts to be here and everybody else's efforts too, please bring your hands to your heart. Now you sensed your own breath rhythm there, and in the chant I'll sing and you can share my rhythm. We'll sing Asatoma Satgamaya. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Remembering that you are practicing with others. If we were in a shared practice in a shared room, our rhythm would feel stronger and would have more reciprocity. So we have to imagine this now. Just like we imagine that the world is not rhythmically aligned with us when we see advertising, let's imagine that there are people aligned with the rhythm of yoga and grace and service. You can release your hands when you're ready to. And please come up to standing on your yoga mat. I will set up the camera to be my other camera. So please come up to stand. Okay, when you take a stance just as wide as your yoga mat. I'm going to adjust that camera in just a moment because I can see it's kind of cutting off my head right now. So interlace your fingers, take the heels of your hands forward. Okay, and check that you could comfortably sit down like chair pose, and that you can comfortably reach up, and you're not going to bump in anything when you reach out. Okay, so knowing those things. All right, inhale, take the heels of your hands up. Exhale, sit down to this wide-footed chair pose. Inhale, press up and look up. And exhale, press wide and come down to a ragdoll forward bend. That was just 2 breath cycles for that process. We're going to repeat it. Okay, so rise up to standing. Interlace your fingers. Okay. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead, heels of the hands high. Exhale, bend your knees, sit down like chair pose, but with the hands clasped together. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, arms wide, and as you come down, keep the legs strong, but let the torso act like a rag doll. Notice any shift in just synchronizing your breath and your body and your senses. Okay, we're going to repeat that and we're going to add to it. So rise up to standing, interlace your fingers. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, side bend left. Inhale to center. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale to rise. Chair pose. Bend your knees, sit down, keep the knees as wide as your toes. This is a wide chair pose. We're going to inhale, rise up and look up. And exhale, press out. Come wide and down like a rag doll, but keep the legs strong. Notice again any even slight change. And don't think, am I changing for the better or the worse? Only notice that there are slight changes happening. Your body chemistry is actually adjusting to what you're doing. So is your breath and your heart rate. So whether you sense, you can rise up to stand, whether you sense those changes really intimately or not, is more a matter of your capacity for sensing it, because there are things occurring. So clasp the hands, we're going to add to it again. So inhale, go up. Side bend left. Inhale, center. Exhale, side bend right. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair pose with the wide stance. Okay. Inhale, rise up. Okay. Exhale, big circle, coming down. Now inhale, twist right. Exhale, down. Inhale, twist left. And exhale, down. Notice again any shift, like you sense your heart rate, your temperature, maybe something clears in your mind or your body. Maybe you come into your body a bit more. We'll do it one more time. Please rise up. Okay, interlace your fingers. Inhale, raise your arms. Exhale, side bend left, keeping your hips and legs centered. Inhale, center, so you're bringing your torso up over your midline. Good. Exhale, side bend right, so the hips don't shift to the side, just the torso. Good. Inhale, rise. Chair pose with the wide feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, descend. Inhale, twist right. Any amount is fine. Exhale, descend. And inhale, twist left. And exhale, descend. Now, in this ragdoll, bend your knees and let the lower back be a little bit more broad as you bend your knees. So the torso can feel a little bit more like that ragdoll position. And as you bend the knees, put your body weight into your heels so your toes don't feel burdened, like you're not going to fall forward on your head. And I'd like you to take a deep breath in through your nose. And then we're going to make a sound for the exhale that goes shh, like this. So please inhale through the nose. Twice more. Inhale through your nose. Last one. Inhale through your nose. Okay, shift your hands to your knees. Press down and rise up to standing. And then step your feet into mountain pose. And let yourself just take notice, right? So Biochemical things are happening right now, so are physiological, neurological things. Can you just notice those for a few moments? Like you might witness the sun coming through the window. Can you witness the internal landscape as well? And then please step forward on your mat for the sun salutation. I have to adjust my camera one more time. Let's see if that'll do it. So when you step forward for Surya Namaskar, no, that's not going to do it. The teacher should have a head. I mean, there should be no cutting the head off when teaching yoga. I don't know why it's different today. I'll have to look at the distinctions later, but okay, there we go. All right. Please bring your hands together at your heart for Surya Namaskar. So what's most important right now is not how flexible you feel in each of these poses, but can you sense on the inside even the small changes, and can you make the rhythm between the breath and the body really intimate, really unified? Don't rush it. Okay, using Ujjayi, please. So inhale, raise your arms. A chair pose without the hands clasped. Inhale to rise. Exhale, descend. So the apex or the bottom of your movements correlate with the apex or the bottom of the breath. So you inhale, glide your heart forward. And exhale to bow towards your legs. And then inhale, rise up to standing, and listen for the pace of your movement to be synchronized with the pace of your breath being the conductor. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart, so they really only arrive as your exhale is completing. And the breath is in charge of the rhythm, not the mind. Let's do it again. Inhale. Chair pose. Rising up. Descending. Don't worry how deep you go physically. Be more connected to the length and pace of your exhale. Inhale, glide forward, vertebrae by vertebrae, supported by your in-breath. Exhale to deeply bow towards your legs. Take your time, even basking in the opportunity to be this present with yourself. And inhale, arms wide, rise up at the pace and duration of your inhale. And then exhale, hands to your heart, perhaps the most simple of all the actions, taking the least geographical distance, but being also the most profound. Notice any small changes right now in the inner landscape. Now we'll add the crescent lunges. So inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. A chair pose. Rising up. Uttanasana. Asatoma. Heart forward. Okay, left foot back. Satkamaya. Inhale to rise. Descending. Tamasoma. Step forward. Right foot back. Jyotirgamaya. Rising. Descending. Mrityorma. Step forward. Bowing. Amritam gamaya. Rising up. And then to the heart, using the full exhale to arrive. So now we'll do the same. When I sing the line, you hear it during your exhale. Repeat it silently to yourself during your inhale. Okay. Inhale, raise your arms. Okay. Chair pose. Rising up. Descending. Asatoma. Heart forward. Listening for that silently inside your own ear. Okay, left foot back. Sadgamaya. Inhale to rise. Descending. Tamasoma. Step forward, heart forward. Right foot back. Jyotirgamaya. Rising. Descending. Mrityorma. Step forward, heart forward. Bowing to the legs. Amritam gamaya. Listening for that as you rise. And then coming to the heart. The most simple of all the actions, but also the most profound. Again, notice any changes in the senses, even in the inner landscape. Noticing without judging, observing for intimacy with the inner ecology of your own body. You're not observing to make anything bad or wrong. Okay, let's use now 2 blocks so we can add, we're going to add Anjaneyasana Asana and Trikonasana. Okay, and I'll describe when we go there. Okay, let's begin. Inhale. Okay, chair pose. Inhale to rise. Descending. Asatoma. Heart forward. Okay, left foot back. Sadgamaya. Inhale to rise and listen for some semblance of that sound in your inner ear. Descending. Tamasoma. Touch the left knee down, make your blocks tall. Inhale to come up. And exhale to come forward. Jyotirgamaya. Inhale, straighten both legs. Turn your left heel and come into Trikonasana. Mrityodama. Breathe in. Descending. Amritam gamaya. Inhale, bend your right knee and step forward, heart forward. And exhale to bow towards the legs. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Noticing any shifts in the inner ecology of your body, your senses. Same thing on the other side. Okay. Inhale, raise your arms. A chair pose. Rising up. Descending. Asatoma. Heart forward. Right toes back. Sadgamaya. Rise up. Descending. Tamasoma. Right knee down, blocks tall. Coming forward, basic lunge. Jyotirgamaya. Inhale, straighten both legs. Pivot your right heel, Trikonasana. Mrityodama. Inhale. Descending. Amritam gamaya. Inhale, bend your left knee and step forward, heart forward. Uttanasana. Inhale to rise. And then coming to the heart. Take the full exhale to arrive. No sense of rushing. As you feel these changes inside, like temperature, heart rate, your heartbeat and your fingerprints, your breath rate, as you feel these things, just notice that the entirety of your body, you couldn't take one thing out, like the pinky toe is also having an experience, your earlobes are here, your subtle body, your physical body, your mind and your heart. Please release both hands, and I'd like to have a yoga strap for this part of class. Let me get my strap. It's also going to be helpful if you have a blanket. So a yoga strap with a loop, something like this, right? And then a blanket. And I do like us to roll the blanket. We're going to be placing it under the outer hip of one leg. You will soon see. So if you take your blanket, or you could use an extra yoga mat rolled up if you have one. You can also use a block. It's harder to get it to fit under the outer hip. So what you're going to be doing here, we're going to lie down, and I'll show you the right side first. So lie on your back with your yoga strap near enough by, and with your blanket at the ready, to the right side of your torso. And then take your right foot up in the strap, please. And place your hand in the loop with your foot. And stretch your left leg out straight. So at the moment, we're not yet employing the blanket, in case you got confused. I didn't forget about it. What I'm going to ask you to do while you're here is find the place where you have a sense of your own comfort. It does not need to be the deepest possible hamstring stretch ever. I would like your left leg to be grounded. Then let the eyes close and just give your right leg permission. Just sort of fan a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. We're not going out to the side yet. We're not really crossing over. But as you rock your right leg just a little bit right and a little bit left, you can again think of the kind of rhythm that for you would feel most grounding or graceful. This is a rhythm that would let you slow down your mind and feel into your body. And your breathing may also be slow and smooth. You can glide your right leg a little bit right and a little bit left again, just a few moments more. Try to sense if you have places that are your preference and places that you're avoiding. And see if you can bring awareness to any place you might be avoiding and give it a little bit more attention. And then we're going to use the yoga blanket like this. So if you take the strap off momentarily and bring your right leg down. So it's going to come down next to your left leg, and let them both, once you get there, let both legs go limp. And notice the difference between your right and left leg. Then you're going to roll your right hip up off of the floor. Roll it up like this and take the blanket and scooch it under the outside of your right thigh bone, which is also called your trochanter. So you just snuck it under there, and you're going to take your right leg back up in the strap, put your hand in. Rotate your right toes and your right knee out to the right, and begin coming out to the side. You will be limited by how far you can go because of the blanket. But the other thing the blanket's going to do is highlight the right inner thigh for you. I mean, the sensations there might come sooner or more strongly than if you didn't have the blanket. And I'm going to ask you to again be in a place in the pose where you could allow for there to be some gentle sense of exploration. And I want that to have rhythm, so you're not expected to be like a yoga statue. You can allow the right leg to come slightly up, slightly down. But listen from within your body. We don't want the pose to become stagnant. I don't want your mind to daydream. But even more than that, you have this opportunity to feel, to sense, to be reunited with your body, to have a little more Intimacy with this thing, which is also an ecology of its own. Not independent from the larger ecology, but this is an ecology inside of you, which you get to steward. And one way you do that is with rhythm. And with exploration. Over the next few moments, just using some awareness of the left low belly to anchor, start to glide your right leg back up to center. And then release your right foot from the strap, and this time cross your right ankle over your left knee and press your right knee open. Now the blanket is still under your outer hip, and I would like it to be there because then your hips right here are going to be level. And as you press your right knee open, I want you to get an honest sense of what is happening at the right inner groin, inner thigh. And try to sense a rhythm like on the inhale, you're lengthening your right thigh, a little bit like a telescope, lengthened towards its own knee. On the exhale, tone your left low belly. When you inhale to lengthen your right thigh, don't let the left lower back pull up off the floor, please. And now slide your right leg down until it meets your left leg. Put the blanket a little bit to the side and notice the difference between your right leg and your left leg. You can also notice if you have a preference for the way one leg feels compared to the other. Please put the blanket on the other side of your mat so it's at the ready, and reach for your yoga strap. And let's put the left foot up in the strap, please. No blanket under the hip to start, so just now it's only you and the strap. Stretch your right leg out. And again, it doesn't need to be the most amazing hamstring stretch with a protractor measuring 180. I just want you to sense your own capacity where you still have this room to gently explore. So as you're gliding across and exploring, remember this rhythm is not intellectual. Try to sense your body's rhythm, how it wants to explore. I am making a recommendation that your rhythm feels more like grounding or grace or connection. Listen to what your body is also asking for here. And as you bring that somewhere around to center, then you can release your left foot from the strap, and let's take it straight down again. Left leg coming down towards your right leg. Go ahead and go slowly. We're not hurrying here. And as you lower the left leg, go inside to sense this inner ecology that is you. And then lean your left hip up off the floor to roll your blanket under your outer left hip. And you take the strap and your foot. And here we get to go out to the side. So turn your left toes. So if your head's at noon, try to turn your toes towards guess I'll call that 1 or 2 p.m. over there. So you've already rotated your leg externally before you come out to the side. And I'm not so concerned, nor should you be, like, how far does it go? I don't want you to go past the place where you can be exploring. So don't lock yourself into some kind of end range in this yoga pose. Come out to the pose, but then allow it to be an exploration. And the movement and the exploration, think of it like, when you were an infant or a toddler, you were exploring something and it wasn't separate from you. And when you're next ready to, go ahead and float your left leg back up to center. When you come up, you can loosen the strap from your foot, cross your left ankle over your left thigh, and press out actively with your left knee. The blanket is purposely behind your hip there so that you will maintain a level pelvic structure. Breathe into the left inner groin, left inner thigh. And you can slide your left leg slowly down. Let it match your right leg on the floor. And let both legs be limp for a few moments right there. Now we rolled this blanket and we're going to use it for Shavasana. So what you can do is take your rolled blanket and place it lengthwise down your yoga mat. Sit in front of but not on it. Lie back so it supports the base of your lumbar spine, the top of your sacrum. You can reach for a block to put under the blanket, so your neck now has this blanket roll shaped to the back of the neck, and your head is higher than your heart right now. Set the shoulders back. So this is like doing what we call in pranayama, Jalandhara Bandha. When you take the arms out to the side, and you've got this all supported, just for a moment, rotate your right nose, your nose down to the right as far as it goes comfortably. And see if you could let the left shoulder be heavy. So you're just stretching the left side of the neck for a few moments. And breathe into the left side of your neck with a rhythm that, again, feels like grace or love. And roll your nose to center and roll your nose to your left. And then roll your head to center and please come to Shavasana. So you're going to be resting and integrating. So I recommend this time of year you do palms face down, or my personal preference, hands on the low belly. And then go inside and just watch for a time. What's going to happen here, if you don't go in and think too much, don't imagine you're doing something, just observe. Your body will start recalibrating physiologically and biochemically, recalibrating down to a state of integration. Sometimes the physical body starts to feel heavier, and you can allow for that. Just allow your thinking mind to be really restful. You're only watching what is happening within you. We're not watching so that we can analyze nor evaluate. So continue to observe. Observe without anticipation, without narration. Let your mind stay very still as you're only witnessing. Allow your mind to continue to rest. Your body continues to integrate. So you're observing an ecology within you, moving without interruption, without disruption, returning to its intelligence. Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti Om. So you may now lightly deepen your breathing. And gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And please bend one knee at a time. You may roll to your side. Use both hands to come back up to sitting. Try to sense once again that the place you come to in this recalibration, were we together in the same geographical room, we would sense this palpably as a non-separate state. So you have to use your imagination to have this felt sense of the non-separateness between us and between us and all beings. And please bring your hands together at your heart. And we'll chant Om Shanti together 3 times. Om Shanti 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 Om Om Shanti Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to come up closer so I can see you a little bit larger. Welcome back from Shavasana.